Okay, guys, so today I'm here with Luke Yacinich, who is a baseball player at Cornell. Thanks for doing this today, Luke.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. Okay, so just first thing that I'm going to ask is just kind of tell us about just your background in athletics and how you got to the point where you could do baseball in college and why that was the sport you chose.
Yeah. So I come from Iowa. I come from a very athletic family. I think most of the people in my family have played sports in high school and a lot of them into college. A couple of professional athletes, my brother, my uncle have played professional baseball. So I was kind of just born into it. Um, it's always been a goal of mine to play college baseball. Um, I played baseball and basketball and ran track in high school, and that's kind of where I figured out that baseball was probably the route I was going to go. And luckily, I got recruited by a few schools and chose Cornell University.
Awesome. So, obviously going through the recruitment process, you have a lot of different options. You have to make some big decisions. What about Cornell drew you toward that specific college?
Yeah. So I had a few offers here and there, University of Iowa and a couple of junior colleges. But when Cornell called me, I was very intrigued. Obviously, Ivy League academics and Division I sports is pretty enticing. And so I took a trip up there. I took a visit, and I loved it. I love the coaching staff. I love the campus and the culture and the guys that were up there. So I'd say the deciding factor was probably, Ivy League academics and Division I sports.
Obviously, I feel like an Ivy League would be difficult just for your average student on campus. How do you manage balancing being an Ivy League student and an athlete? Because those are both very big commitments. So just how have you had to learn how to balance those two?
As a freshman, it's tough. A lot of young guys come in and struggle, um, but as you go through it, you learn. You talk to the the upperclassmen, excuse me, and they kind of teach you, this is what I've done, this is how I adjusted. And pretty soon, by second semester freshman year, you kind of got it figured out. But it's difficult. Luckily, a lot of guys on the team are also my major, so they're in classes with me, and we can work together. We live together. Um, so a lot of relying on the guys around you and the guys on my team, but it just kind of all falls into place, especially sophomore year when you've been through it and you can kind of figure it out a little better.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and then going along with that, obviously college athletics is a whole different ballgame compared to high school. What were like some things you were expecting going into college versus like the reality of it?
Yeah, so you go into college and you have an idea that it's going to be, a better system, a better kind of faster pace of play. But a lot of freshmen, especially me, you get there and the guys are bigger, the guys are faster, they throw harder. So the pace of play and the speed of the game was really eye opening, and it's eye opening for a lot of freshmen when they get there. So that's a big adjustment is the speed of the game. And you come from high school where you're playing 16, 17, 18-year-olds, and you get to college and now you're playing against 22, 23-year-old. That's a big difference in just the maturity and the level of play. So that's a big adjustment, the speed of play.
Yeah, definitely. And then, obviously with that, your practices look different, your schedule looks different. What's kind of just like a typical day in the life of a Cornell baseball player? Like practice schedule and structure, and along with classes, like what does just a typical day look like for you?
Yeah. So if we're in the height of a fall season or spring season, it'll probably look like 6 a.m. We'll have a lift. It'll probably go from 6 to 7:15, 7:30. After that, go back to the locker room, shower, change, and then we usually go up to the dining hall for breakfast. and then guys start going their separate ways once classes start. Some guys have 8 a.m.s. Typically, my classes start around 9. So lifting gets over at 7:30. I'll shower, get some breakfast, go to class from 9 to 10, and probably 10 to 11. Get some lunch. Probably have another class in the afternoon until usually about 2:30. Get another quick something to eat, and then practice is, typically starts around 3, goes to 6, 6:30, and then get some dinner and do some homework.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like a very big commitment, but
Yeah.
also sounds really like rewarding. So just what are some achievements or things you are proud of that have happened in your few seasons at Cornell? I know it's been weird with COVID. You missed a season last year, but just in the time that you have been able to play, what are some things that you've accomplished that you've been proud of?
Yeah. Freshman year, the first semester, first couple tests didn't go too hot. But I was proud of myself, as that semester went on, got some better grades, boosted those up, and I've been pretty consistent in the classroom since then. And freshman year, being able to juggle academics and athletics and get a few starts and play quite a bit freshman year was a lot of fun. Obviously, sophomore year got cut short because of COVID. But I'd say biggest accomplishment was just kind of turning my freshman year around. We started with some rough grades, and but we pulled that back together and powered through.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I can't really imagine how difficult the academics must be at an Ivy League and then juggling that on top of a D1 sport. So obviously that brought some challenges. So like what were some of these unexpected challenges besides the academic part? They can be just in general related to baseball, related to COVID, just things that you weren't really expecting about college sports that kind of threw you off, but you've been able to overcome.
Well, yeah, a definite thing that I didn't predict or didn't expect was COVID. I don't think any of us saw that one coming. So that's been tough. That's been a big challenge. Just the uncertainty surrounding that. All the doubts and the uncertainty around whether or not we're going to play this year has been a challenge. So they shut us down last spring, and then this fall they came down. And the Ivy League has been pretty strict with their protocol surrounding COVID. We didn't get to practice much, and we're still unsure if we're going to play this spring. So that's been a main challenge that's faced us, is just the uncertainty and trying to, stay focused and stay motivated when, we're not sure we're going to have a season.
Yeah. And then going off of that, do you get an extra year of eligibility for the season you missed? And if you do, are you planning on like taking full advantage of that? And just like, what are kind of your plans for the future regarding baseball?
Yeah. So the season we missed last year, we'll get another year of eligibility. So that would be a 5th year. The Ivy League rules is that we cannot use that 5th year at another Ivy League institution or the same one. So I can't go back to Cornell or go to another Ivy League institution. I'd have to leave the Ivy League, which is fine. But yeah, I'm planning on using that 5th year, probably go get a master's somewhere. That situation, you have to get, it's a little bit of recruiting for baseball. If you want to play baseball somewhere else, it's a little bit of recruiting, a little easier than, a high school recruiting circuit, but get recruited and figure out where you want to go. And that starts probably senior year, in the fall of senior year. But I'm excited for that. Go get a master's somewhere and play my 5th year baseball. That's very exciting.
Yeah, that definitely sounds exciting. And I mean, kind of a positive note after missing a season last year, because I know that can be really disappointing for a lot of athletes. So that's just a good thing that came from that, I guess. I mean, obviously not all, but it's good that you get that. So you said
Definitely.
you were kind of unsure on if you guys are going to get to play this season. Have any like official plans been made, or are they still in the works, or kind of what's like the situation right now?
So they're pretty unsure. We've gotten a few emails from administration basically just explaining that in order for us to play this season, some things would have to change. Some of the numbers would have to go down, which we're hopeful. Obviously, everyone, the whole team's preparing as if we're playing. It's we're still pretty focused, still preparing as if everything's normal. But in the back of our heads, we know that there's a chance it gets canceled. But yeah, we don't know for sure. We're hopeful, but we're not sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been a weird year with everything up in the air, but I'm hopeful for you guys too. I really hope you get a season because that would be awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
yeah. So, kind of just on a more happy note, what's been just your favorite memory, story, or experience so far from college baseball? Just something that like sticks out to you, that was a great experience, a great time, just really anything.
Yeah, I'd say so. Our freshman year, it was senior weekend. So our last home series. So the seniors were getting honored, and we were playing Penn. And one of the seniors that hadn't played very much in his whole career steps up to the plate and hit a walk-off triple on senior weekend, which was really cool. He was a senior, hadn't played a lot in his career, got some chances to play senior year, and he hit a walk-off triple, which was very fun, very exciting for him, and very fulfilling. So that was probably my favorite memory, just because how awesome and the emotions and the excitement from that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's just really cool for him. I mean, a great way to kind of
Yeah,
end his career and wrap that all up.
yeah,
And my last thing I have for you is just, do you have any advice or encouragement to anybody who's looking to play a sport in college, specifically baseball, just about the recruitment process, about what to expect, just anything that you've learned over the last few years that you think would be helpful to people looking at colleges?
yeah. I'd say in the recruiting process, take as many trips as you can. If a school wants to come out and visit the campus, go. That's invaluable experience as you're walking around and trying to figure out what schools you like and what schools you want to go to. If you've visited campuses and seen different places, it's going to be very helpful in your final decision. And what to expect in college baseball, it's going to be different. It's going to be hard, and there's going to be a lot of times you struggle, and there's going to be a lot of times you succeed. But it's just trying not to get too high or too low. Just remain even keel and put your head down and keep working is pretty much the mantra.
Yeah, awesome. Well, that's all I have for you, unless you have anything else you want to add.
No, that's it.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for doing this. I really hope you guys get a season. And yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.